Good morning, good morning. There are so many things I should be doing, but alas, I don't want to do them. It's like, okay, you got to do them. Nope, don't want to do them. I did get my visa applied for. This is trash. I cannot save all the things, even though I want to. Can't do it. But in cleaning out, I found this. It's just a little zine that I made, but it's just printed onto copy paper, things that I have already done. That's the beginnings of a really great zine. And I'm on a zine thing because Bai Bun is doing a zine. She got it accepted to the Los Angeles Zine Festival, I think they called it. This is acetate. That needs to go someplace safe. Allah. In this gigantic paper bin. I'm still trying to finish these journal pages. I did a few things before I went out of town in here. I think I put that down. Oh yeah, I did some, what do you call it? Clusters. I filmed all that stuff at the beginning of April. So if I don't remember, I did this. If I don't remember, I did this. It's not my fault if I don't remember, because I was working before I went out of town. And I really found a groove, and I really found an easy way to film ahead. So I theoretically speaking, right now, as it stands right now, I probably will film again and not have another gap. Okay, so I think I'm going to just play with some zines. I got some stuff here, kind of just trying to clear a path. All right, I'm going to make a zine. First of all, let's find a blank page to work off of. When I say blank, I mean blank, right? These are all things that I keep reaching towards that are jelly prints or scribbling or all kinds of things. That's kind of pretty. That I have made over the last 2 or 3-ish years. Different papers. This is Tamala River paper. This is mixed media paper. This is probably watercolor paper. There's just straight up painting, using up paint. Playing not very well. Oh, that's kind of cute. Turkeys and bears. Ooh. But I have tons of this stuff. Tons. Ooh, I like that one. I could use this piece of paper. This looks like a Bella that got into my mix. Our granddaughter. Who sadly really doesn't like arting with me anymore. She's too cool to do that. We knew those days were coming. I just didn't want them to come already. But they're here. Just all kinds of stuff. There's some pretty watercolor swatches on paper, stamping on paper. Don't come in here, I'm filming. If you didn't hear that, he goes, oh, that's us. Talking to the dog. I did this. I think those were Bella's, actually. I mean, there is just tons. And this is one paper box. I mean, I talked about these paper boxes. I mean, you pretty much have been introduced to my paper boxes already. This is on sticker paper. That might work. Ooh, what's this? Something on Procreate. I don't know what that is. I had one box under control pretty well. And then it got out of control. So, I think I'm just going to make a zine. There's a ton of girls next door. When I say girls, like 30-year-old women. I think it's spring break in a lot of places. And I remember that from last year too, because when I was coming home from the airport from last year's quilting trip, the airports were packed because it was spring break. The airport was packed on the 20th, which was Monday? Yeah. Because of spring break and weather. There was a huge weather issue. I think I want to do it on this big a piece of paper. And then I might cut out some of these others and apply them as pages of the zine. And then do some mixed media. I mean, do something crazy on all of them. All right, so how do you do a zine? Yeah. And then leaving on the 24th was another weather debacle. Yesterday was most likely a weather debacle for the Midwest. I'm glad there was a lot of tornadoes, bad tornadoes. I'm glad I didn't come home yesterday. I'm glad I came home on when did I come home? Thursday. Glad I didn't come home on Friday. Okay, so now my pages. Let me put a pencil on these. Doing, because when you put these together, actually you're supposed to start labeling them like this. Wait a minute, I gotta give it cuts first. This is not a video on a tutorial on how to make a zine. I don't teach anything. For new people that are here, I don't teach anything because I usually do it wrong. And I would rather have no pressure. Okay, so now, there we go. Okay, so this is wrong. I'm just getting it all layered out because you can work on it flat. It's much easier, but I had it labeled wrong. Okay, so this is front. Oh, my squeaky table. I've missed you. Not really. Okay, so now we're going to do one top. So I know which way is the top, to the direction. 2 top, 3 top, 4 top, 5 top, 6 top. So then when you go to lay it out flat and work on it, this is the back and the front. Top of 1, top of 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I think I'm going to go fast forward. I am going fast forward because I have a feeling this is going to take a while. And I was right. um, I have some paper that I'm going to cover up some of the huge patches of copper, um, and just to back some of that color off. And it's just scraps. It's just scraps. Um, I am gonna put. This is kind of like the same procedure. It's like little teeny tiny art journal spreads in each one. Um, and I have seen themes in zines. That's hard to say. Theme in zines. I know By Bun makes a theme in hers and tells a little story. I like telling stories in my journals. And here is my medium size ephemera. Is this all I have? It is what I thought I had. But anyhow, I'm making 6 piles, 8 piles. I need a front and a back also. And I kind of color coordinated them. Or like one has, there's all these postcards in this thing. I bought an ephemera pack off of Etsy 2 years ago, and this is a lot of it. And a lot of it is like old magazine ads and things, which is fun. But there were some postcards in there, and that's too thick. That is too thick of a paper to use right now. I probably could peel it, but I don't want to. Anyhow, trying to maybe make a color pile for each color, or a text pile, or a weird, just in my head, I am coordinating 8 piles of paper. I think I have a yellow one or a gold one, a red one, a black and white one with lots of texture with using charts. There's one that has a lot of black and white also that is using plants. And I put aside that picture of the castles because I'm like, I have 6 castles and 6 pages because I don't count the front and back. That's a wine label from a wine bottle in Israel. You never know what's going to come across here. Uh, I've had that thing since 2008. I'm afraid to use it. I'm hoarding it. Maybe I'm going to use it this time. I don't know. But anyhow, I came up with 6 piles. Um, and not all of these piles, not all of the items in each pile will be used, and certainly not the entire piece will be used. Um, the labels, I might put a label on the cover or on the back. I don't know. At this point, I really do not know. I'm just coordinating piles of color. Um, and when I say coordinating, in my head, they're coordinated. That was a cigarette ad. We don't have those anymore. Then I found that picture of a little girl. I'm like, oh, she could haunt all these castles or something to these castles. Maybe these are all her summer homes. I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of am seeing a story emerge with castles and that little girl. Um, and those are all castles that I took pictures of along the Rhine over several trips. So that brings back memories. And then these 2 colors, it didn't seem like they went together. And then I had a pile that had only one thing in it, so I kind of switched around some stuff, curated the piles, as By Bun would say. Not that I'm trying to be her. Never would that happen. I have that pink/red pile. I love that girl's eyelet dress, and I'm just going to use her dress. But then I'm cutting apart the castles, and actually I think some of these are in Bruges. No, Antwerp. Antwerp. That was a scary city. Um, Anyhow, and then this is a collage of journal spreads that I have done in different projects lately, and I'm using that kind of stuff more and more. I find that I can manipulate them a lot, and I like that. I like that the fun of manipulation of my own stuff and turning it into something else again and then using it again. I have to admit, James Burke does that a lot, and it used to bother me. I mean, he would use his own artwork and then he would photocopy it and use it again in a different way, and that used to bother me. I'm like, I'm seeing the same stuff over and over again. I now see the fun in it and the creativity that can still evolve from something you've already done, and that is fun. So that's kind of like where I'm going with that little pile right there. I cut some things down. I cut the edges off the castles. I love this piece right here. I don't even know what it is, but it's a chart of something. Um, I think it's like a seed packet chart, when to plant stuff and how deep. I don't remember. But there's also this picture with trees in it, and you really can't tell what that is either, but the two of them together, luscious, luscious. It's graphic, it's black and white, it's got some movement in it with the lines of the trees, and I love that. Now this, I just kind of got out there and I got stuck in all of it. Not stuck. I got deep, deep, deep into the production of this one. And I was trying to layer stuff behind the hole that was already there in the dark green paper. Then I came across this map. And I started cutting out the city streets and leaving the interstates in there. I think this is Kansas City, actually. Um, and it had a lot of interstates that intersect in Kansas City, a lot of roads that go around Kansas City. Anyhow, it was fun to cut all this apart. And when it was cut apart, it looked like a really lacy piece of paper, which was fun to create thanks to construction of roads everywhere. But that was fun. So then that led to making lacier paper out of everything else that was left. But now that dark green is a sticker with French words on it. And I'm trying to just see how I can coordinate. This pile started out as green or blue maybe. And then I'm taking this watercolor piece of paper that's on Tomoa River paper and just cutting out, following the lines of some kind of just swirls in the paint. And trying to figure out how I can put that on there. Leave the hole that was already punched out of it and leave that there. And I kind of just made a swirly effect with the other paper that was there and encompassed, tangled it around the interstate paper. So this is kind of like tangled webs of paper, but it looks so cool, and it really looks cool altogether. My opinion, of course, it might drive some people nuts. There's circles in there. There's sermon paper in there. There's French wording in there. There's maps in there. Tomoa River paper. All of my favorite things. And one little tiny journal spread that is 3 by 4.5. Each one of these little things is 3 by 4.5 inches. Love how that turned out. That took a lot of time. And because of that, I think this zine is going to take a few days to make. And that is okay. That is okay. I think that little piece right there alone was like 40 minutes. I had this sped up 4 times, I think it was, in order to edit it into a tiny little vlog for the day. Anyhow, I decided to put it up. Nope, I'm deciding, should I come up with a title? And then I put the homes of Western, let's see, what did I put? I don't remember. This was last night. The homes of Western whatever. You guys come up with a word that goes there. And these are the Monica's Mansions. These are the titles that I'm thinking of titling this zine. So I got out an Architectural Digest magazine looking for just titles of articles. Romancing the Stone. The castles are all made out of stone. I thought that was kind of fun. But I might let you guys pick the title and see what happens. Oh, by the way, we're on TV today. There's a bass fishing tournament in our cove, and they were filming on our cove. They had boats with cameras in them and camera on the boat where the fisherman was, but it's a huge bass fishing tournament. So if you're into bass fishing, there's a tournament right now on Lake Murray. And then the last one I came up with was make time for castles. That came from a little bit of a article out of Rolling Stone. So, which title should I use? I don't know. You guys pick. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.